Awesome. Thanks, Holly. Did she call me a snob? I kind of feel like she did. I don't know. I am a 100% an ingredient snob. I'm an ingredient guru. I love ingredients. I'll just give you a little bit about my background. Like she said, I'm a chiropractor. I practiced very, very full time for about 15 years. My specialty, like she said, is pediatrics and nutrition. And I spent a big part of my career looking at different bottles and helping people pick and choose. And there's a lot out there, and it's very confusing. It's one of the things I looked at when I decided to come here is there's so much ease to what we have here. So many people out there in this world are trying to piece and part it all together. I was actually one of those people. And so I'm married. I have three children. I am busy. And so for myself as a busy mom, I needed things that I could put into my body and go on about my day. I didn't want to have to think about it. I didn't want to have to, because I did that for a very long time. And I work with so many different people. I did lots of calls today. It was a snow day here where I'm at. However, I did a lot of calls and, I meet people every day who are taking so many different things. And I ask them, if you're taking all those things, do you feel amazing? And they look at me like, are you crazy? Are you supposed to be all amazing from your supplements? And yes, the answer is yes, if you're actually absorbing them. And that's really what we're going to talk about. I am no longer practicing. I walked away from full-time practice about 10 years ago. And I am exclusively doing three. I didn't jump right in exclusively doing it, though. I'll be honest and very transparent with you. I was looking for that next thing. Was I going to go back to full-time practice? I didn't want to do that. The world of healthcare is a totally different ballgame than when I started 25 years ago. But I wanted something that gave me the flexibility and freedom to be with my children, around my children, be at the school, volunteer, do the things I wanted to do, but really something that also could give me the income to do that. I worked in a profession where I had to have my hands on people. I had to be in a room with people to earn an income. And that was the only way to do it. And so the ability to earn residual income, the ability to build an income around my family, not at the expense and time being away from my family, it was something I truly didn't know existed. So a good friend of mine called me one day and said, you need to meet this friend of mine. You need to meet my friend Holly and what she's doing. She's walking away from this company and coming to this new one. And I think it's worth your time to take a look. And so I am a businesswoman, if I'm nothing else. Except an ingredient guru. And I went and met her and I really just listened. And I was actually quite arrogant that day. I asked her a lot of questions about all the things. Most people look at a vitamin C and say, vitamin C, cool, I'll take it. No, I want to know where it's sourced, how it's studied, how it's tested, how it's manufactured, things that most people could care less about. So when it came down to it, this slide here is really what sets this company apart from anything else that's out there. And like I said, I have worked with supplements for 25 years. I have taken the best of the best. People say, I take really good supplements. So did I. What the difference is, most people out there are taking really great ingredients. That's totally different than absorbing them. And so most people have no idea that most supplements are only 5, 10, maybe 15% absorbed. So that's like saying, I'm going to give you something and I want it to fit into a golf ball hole and it's the size of a bowling ball and hoping that you actually absorb it. And it's just not happening. And it's why people are taking supplements and not noticing a huge change. And then they come here and they start taking these products and they're like, whoa, these are different. Dr. Dan is at the forefront. He is out searching, looking, exploring from all over the world where we can pull new ingredients, new molecules, what we can do to be cutting edge to get things into people's bodies. The way he puts them together. My circle of people are healthcare providers. So a lot of them say, I've taken a lot of these ingredients before. They don't work the same way as these. These really work. I'm like, yes, it's Dr. Dan's brilliance. It's how he puts them together. And then the absorption. So this company said, if we're going to create a supplement is this high quality, you better be able to absorb it. So they use 13 different absorption technologies to get it into the cell. So golf ball hole, golf ball, boom, you get absorption. And that's why people are getting absolutely incredible results like I haven't seen ever in my career. So this is another thing that sets us apart. As Holly said, we had the PDR, and then you saw the last slide, the absorption. This is huge. So this is called the PDR. It used to be called the physician's desk reference. Now it's called the provider's digital reference. This is really the gold standard in the healthcare industry for pharmaceuticals, for drugs. And so since 1947, when it was created, every drug gets into here. but only 21 supplements ever have. Supplement companies. We're one of the 21. We're the only one of the 21 with every single product in our line in this book. And here's what that means. It is an extra layer of credibility that healthcare professionals can say, these are tested, these are different, these have been clinically studied, these have a quality control and analysis and manufacturing processes that are legit. And over, I'm hearing, my doctor said I can take these because they're in the PDR. My physician said, my surgeon said, I can be back on these rather quickly, sooner than most, because they're in the PDR. It is such an incredible source of understanding in the healthcare world that really gives our supplements a higher notch than really anything else out there. I'm going to just speed date through the products. There's lots of videos. There's one with me that's 19 minutes. There's one with Dr. Dan that's 40. We can give you all the information. What I really want you to hear from me tonight, though, is the simplicity. How these are different is because they're so simple. People are taking these products and they're getting great results. I'm going to share with you some of those tonight. So the first one is Vitalite. That's our multivitamin. Almost everybody's taking a multivitamin. Raise your hand. I can't see you. Raise your hand if you're taking a multivitamin. You are. Do you feel amazing from it? You never want to miss a day? Do you think, oh, I think I might have forgotten to take that today. I have to take it. No, nobody is. You're taking it because somebody told you to. You think you're supposed to, but you're not noticing massive changes from it. Those days are over. This is a way to fill in the gaps in your diet to give you all the nutrition you need, all the things you need for gut health, hormone health, fruits, vegetables, all the things we're not getting from our diet. And I hear, Alicia, I have more energy. Alicia, I don't need a nap anymore. I have less hot flashes. My digestion is better than it's been in decades. I'm going to the bathroom every day. I'm going multiple times a day. I feel so much better because of this little packet. All of our products whole food based. Everything's super easy to take. So just take a packet and on your way. You can take them on an empty stomach. Do you know why most supplements can't be done that way? Because there's synthetic things in them that tell your body, ooh, get rid of this. So it gets that nausea feeling. The next product that we have is Immune. This is a hot one right now. So Immune is just that. It supports your immune system, which is really something we should be taking care of every single day. There's a huge correlation between gut health and your immune system. And so this is very intertwined. Another thing you'll start to see with the products is it's a lot of ingredients in one pack. So this is 18 different ingredients to support the immune system. So previously, when my kids come home from school and they're like, oh, my throat's a little scratchy, I'm like, get out the vitamin C, get out the elderberry, you hear what I'm saying? That's done. Get out the Immune. 18 ingredients all in one, put in the system. It's great for people with allergies. It's great for people just to support their immune system. We had one child in our house that came down recently with influenza. It was the only child, the 9-year-old, that was really fighting me on taking it. She's got a mind of her own. And she came down with it. We were all taking our Immune. The rest of us didn't get it. It is that amazing. Love Immune. The next product that we have is Eternal. So just sitting here as you sat on this call, been aging. Your cells have continued to age. Maybe you have some stress going on in your life. Your cells are aging, and they will age faster when they're exposed to different stressors, to life, to all the sun damage, all the things we are exposed to in our life, right? So if there was a way you could go back and heal damage to your cells and prevent future damage, wouldn't you want to do that? What if it was super easy? Okay. So this is Eternal. It's a little packet. You rip off the top and you drink it. It tastes like berries. It is full of ingredients, many that you know, that help support the body's ability to heal. And so this is good for gut health. One of the things I hear from this product, people say, I've started taking Eternal, and people are starting to tell me I glow. People are starting to tell me I look healthier. People are starting to tell me like I look like I have more energy. Well, no kidding. You've just flooded your whole body with nutrients that are taking the aging of your cells and really reversing it, really helping your body to age better. And I'm not talking about wrinkles. I'm talking about your cell health. How are your cells doing on a daily basis? What's giving them the energy, the gasoline to make them work? That's Eternal. I will not miss a day of that packet. The next one is Visage. So anybody heard of a neurocosmetic? I had neither before last summer. I love skincare. I love clean skincare. I didn't really realize how much I loved clean skincare though until this product. And so like I said, I love ingredients. So when they said to me, we have a skincare product that does exactly what you'd want it to, anti-aging, wrinkles, dark spots, working on texture, working on tone, redness, irritation, acne, rosacea, inflammation. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Sign me up. Who wouldn't want that, right? And then they said this. What happens is it goes down into the skin, it sends a message to the brain, and the brain releases neurotransmitters, serotonin, DHEA, and dopamine. Those are the things that make you feel good. There's like the reward centers of your brain that your brain's like, oh, I like that, right? So people started putting this serum on their skin, and their skin started to look amazing. But then I started to hear the following. I'm sleeping better. I'm less grouchy. I'm less snappy. My mood is more even keeled. So literally this product, they bought enough for 4 months in 15 countries and they sold out in 23 days. So when they came back out with it, they said, oh, we're adding on. So they added a cleanser and a toner. You put those on and they're really about the microbiome of the skin. Microbiome is a buzzword right now, but really when it's out of balance, that's when the skin has issues. It shows up with issues, kind of like when your gut microbiome is out of balance, your body shows up with issues. Same thing. So this is a cleanser and a toner. Cleanser is very gentle. The toner is a spray, so you don't even need a cotton ball. You just spray your whole face, and then you put on the nice serum. It preps your skin for that serum, and people are loving it. Who doesn't want better sleep and good skin? So the next slide is Purify. So every day we're exposed to things that kind of junky. So imagine driving down the road and you're driving down the road and while you're driving, somebody's throwing junk and trash into your gas tank. Is the car going to work like a race car? No, absolutely not. And so there needs to be a way to go and clean out that gas tank. Same deal. Every day you're eating foods that have residues, you're exposed to air, things you put on your skin, toxins. And so over time, those toxins build up in your body. And so if you don't get rid of them, they dump. When they dump, that's symptoms. So this is a blend of ingredients that support the lung, liver, kidney, colon, skin, the parts of your body that make you feel like you're cleaner, right? So better digestion, less puffy. I have less brain fog all the time. I hear that, right? And that's because you're cleaning out the main organs and you're letting your body run like a race car. The next slide has the ingredients on it. Again, bang for your buck. You're starting to see it here with me, right? The next product that we have is called Revive. That's our natural anti-inflammatory. So inflammation is the root of all disease. Interestingly enough, Dr. Dan, he traveled all over, and a lot of the rooms we were in, we don't always have medical doctors. We bring in everybody, all professions, but a lot of healthcare providers come into 3. And he asked them at every single meeting I was at, what is the main cause of disease in this country? And the answer was always inflammation. And they're right, it is. And inflammation is not just pain. It's a slow burn in your body of a little fire. And we need to put that out because again, kind of like the toxins, when the inflammation gets too big and dumps, that's where people start to get issues. And so this is a product to lower the inflammation. If inflammation is like a fire, this is like the water pitcher that dumps on there and takes it out. So people will take this and they have better flexibility, agility, mobility. They move better, they feel better, they function better, they have less puffiness, inflammation. I have a gal that started this and she was like, I look like I've lost 15 pounds in my face. No kidding. Her puffiness came down on her face and she just looked healthier. So swelling, this is great for people with migraine headaches, menstrual cramps, things you'd take a natural or any anti-inflammatory for, but a natural healthy version that really works well with your body. And the last product is collagen. I feel like I could come back and do a whole class with you guys on collagen, but truth is that collagen is hot right now. And I was never willing to take a collagen until this product for a few reasons. I know way too much about collagen manufacturing is one of them. But the secondly is I had to find a really good marine-based collagen that was clean, and this is. But what sets this collagen apart than any other than it's a liquid and it's marine and it's super clean, is we take ours for 10 days on and 20 days off. Well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Well, no, because when those 10 days, you get your little collagen factories going. and you get them going and you get them moving and then you pull it back, but it keeps going. And the collagen factories start to do their job. And over time, what you start to find is it gets moving and you start to increase your own collagen production. It's the only collagen I know out there that stimulates your own collagen production. And it's the only collagen in the PDR, which is huge. So I love that. Do you see how simple that was? Simple ingredients, everything's very clean. This is just a small snippet of the no harmful ingredients that we have, things people are looking for. They're very, very, very clean products. The company said if we're going to be a science-based company, we're going to have to tell you that. So we have to prove that to you, right? So on the next slide, you'll see we have clinical studies. If a company tells you, well, we have this or we have that, show me the study. Not show me the money, show me the study. Okay. And it's the truth because studies, you can't just pull those back. You can't just retract those. So you have to be very confident in what you have to actually produce a clinical published study out there. So the company said, we're going to do an absorption study. If we're going to tell you you absorb them, we better show you how. Found that up to 9.5 times more absorbable than a standard control. Amazing, right? Then they said, okay, well, how do we know absorption actually affects anything? Well, they looked at different genes. We can affect genes. And so I looked at things that deal with GLP-1, blood sugar regulation. That's hot right now. BDNF, that's brain function, cognitive health, memory, genes that look at inflammation. The results are out of this world. Whoever invited you here tonight, they have access to the study and they could share the details with you. But let me just say this. There's no other company that's producing epigenetic studies showing that you can significantly improve how the genes are functioning from taking a supplement. The third study was inflammation. So it lowers something called superoxides. You don't want them. They're bad. By taking our Revive product, you lower the inflammation by 36%. Crazy. So as I said earlier, you see on the next screen, there's a lot of different ingredients, right? And so people are taking a lot of these. Like you might be looking at the bottom rows and going, well, I take that and I take that and I take that and I take that. That's a lot of bottles, right? I talked to somebody today, it was 39 bottles, 39 supplements they're taking every day. Like that's a part-time job. That was back to my, do you feel amazing, right? So when you start to look at this, you see the bottom row, some really great ingredients, but they're not absorbed. And that's what I want you to start shifting your brain to. You can take the greatest ingredient on the planet. If you don't absorb it, it doesn't matter. And so start thinking about how could I get these ingredients in my body and absorb them? And that's our products. That's what we have here at 3. And it's really what sets us apart and why people are getting amazing results. 6 simple things plus a skincare for great results. So thank you for having me. I'm going to turn it back to Holly, who's really going to share with you the opportunity we have here at 3.
Okay, so I have one surprise that Alicia doesn't know I have. So we were talking the other day and Dr. Alicia said, why would people take a supplement that has no innovation in it and hasn't made the marks that we have? And she showed a flip phone. Well, I found, I don't know what phone this is. Look at this iPhone and then look at this one. I don't know. This is probably like, I don't know, one of the early ones. It's so tiny. And I'm like, why would I use this when I have this has so much more power, like so much more innovation. The camera on this one is like a dot. The camera, I don't even know if this is a camera. I don't even know if we had cameras when we first got these.
Right. Well, and when that's the thing, when you look at some things, some companies are still using tablets, like actual tablets. I could go on and on about tablets, but I mentioned to Dr. Dan something about a tablet, and his comment was, your great grandma called, she wants her vitamin back. And that's really the truth. Like that's what tablets are. They're not absorbable. Your body doesn't break them down. Heck, the sewage system doesn't even break them down in our country. And so, but people are taking these thinking that they are getting amazing products. They might be taking good ingredients. They're not absorbing them. And that's a totally different ballgame.